Hey, what is going on, Frag fam? I hope you guys are all doing well today. Elliot here, and welcome back to The Fragrance Well. So today we're gonna do two things. First off, I'm gonna give you some channel updates, and then I'm gonna show you my entire fragrance collection, my entire cabinet. Now, I'm not gonna go over every single fragrance in the cabinet. That's gonna take way too long. Just gonna kind of show you the cabinet, show you the brands more than anything for the most part. I might point out some individual fragrances here and there, but I did it last year. You guys seem to enjoy that, and so I'm just gonna do it again this year. You're just gonna see basically everything consolidated and what's been added to it. So we'll get to that in a couple of minutes. Let me just go ahead and give you guys the channel updates right now, and it's not a lot. But first thing you probably have noticed is I haven't been uploading videos as regularly lately. Just in case you are unaware, my wife and I are expecting our first child literally any day now, and there's just a lot of stuff I need to do here in the house to kind of get ready for that. I'm talking about, putting furniture together. We got so many boxes in the house right now. It looks like a warehouse. So we got to kind of get through all this stuff, get things where they need to be, separate the stuff we need immediately, and kind of set aside the stuff we don't need until later, etc., etc. And I just haven't had time to really do videos because I've been very busy with work and playing drum gigs, to where all my free time now has to go to that. So I've been very busy with everything else that I can't do the fragrance videos to. So that's what's gonna ultimately take a back seat right now. Now, I'm not gonna stop making videos. It's just they're probably not gonna be very regular for the time being, but videos will continue when I do have the time. But that's why there's been a lot of breaks in between some of my videos. Another channel update. I actually want to redo this room. I actually want to move my fragrance cabinet into the room, because right now it's not in this room. I want to move it into the room, kind of rearrange how I have everything. This setup in here, it looks neat, but it was kind of just thrown together, and it's a little bit of a mess around everything else. So I actually want to just get things a little bit more organized and kind of repurpose the room for the videos overall. And I'll get to that when I get to that, but that actually might cause some breaks in the videos as well. And the third and final thing in terms of channel updates is I definitely want to integrate live streams into the content this year. I did a poll last year, almost a year ago really, just to gauge interest. There was support for me doing live streams. In terms of when I'm going to do them, it's probably going to be kind of random. I might even do live streams during the process of us getting used to having a baby here, because that'll kind of cut out the time it takes for me to edit. And so I might do lists like that. I may discuss some topics and just keep it kind of short for the time being, and it'll just be easier for me to get content out, because all I got to do is just do the stream and then it's done. I don't have to do any editing afterwards. So that might be the incorporation of live stream content into the channel, but I'm not transitioning just to that. I just want to do it in addition to the long form videos. But yeah, that's the channel updates. So I'm gonna run the intro real quick. Before we do, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you do like the content, and please hit that bell icon and enable notifications. And now you guys are going to see my entire collection in a cell phone video, because like I said, collection's not here, can't do it in here. All right guys, here we are. This is my fragrance cabinet. And just like we did last time, we're just gonna kind of skim through everything. I cannot show you every single fragrance. That's just not gonna work. But we'll just go top to bottom, kind of like I did last time. So the top is still pretty much my wife's fragrances. So you can see it's a lot of Parfums de Marly, BR 540 there, a couple of MFKs. The Intense Cafe, I think she's worn that once. Creed Windflowers, you can see she really was going through that. And Herba Pura, that one's kind of for both of us. Bitter Peach, kind of the same thing. These here are from Arabian Oud, and they are just oils, raw oils. I forget, this is like a rose one that actually got discontinued, so I don't even have that anymore. It's like Sparta Rose or something like that. I forget what this is. I don't know if it has a name on it. Musk a la Russe, I don't even remember what that is. I think it's another one that might have some rose. I'll just have to reorganize that later. Anyway, that's her stuff, down to my stuff here. So as you guys might remember, or I might have even said it already, everything here is alphabetical order by brand for the most part. However, some sections have gotten so full that I couldn't put things quite in order, so I need to rearrange his cabinet again. And there's some things I want to take out. Anyway, let's just go through it. So 1821 Sweet Tobacco, Man-Made. I don't even think I've talked about that in the video yet. Jamaican Tobacco, Algarra. You can see the amouages. I've got 12 of them at this point, and and I believe I had all 12 to put in that Amouage video. So you can definitely go check out every Amouage I have. I'm not gonna go through them. Got a couple Aqua de Parma here. There's 3 here. A couple Amaruds, and usually at the back is gonna be stuff that I may not pull out that often. So there's like a couple of ours Azzaro. What is this? The Amorous, and then that's like an older Azzaro, like the classic Gentleman's Azzaro. Safari Extreme. I've talked about that plenty. This is probably my second most owned house now. It's gonna be the Arabian Ouds. They're all just kind of here in the front. -1, and I've talked about every single Arabian Oud I have in at least one, if not a couple of videos. So yeah, we got plenty of those. Yeah, these are my 2 latest acquisitions, the One and SS Cas, and like I said, I believe I featured both of those. A couple of Killians, Angel Sierra Old Fashioned, Intoxicated. That's it from them right now. Still got these 3 Bentleys here. These are probably gonna go. Honestly, I have no intention of really ever wearing them again. I might keep the Absolute. I think that's what that one is, because I like the old school feel it has. But these 2 here, this is Intense, and then for Men, the original, they're very close alike. And I don't really plan on wearing the Intense anymore, and the For Men is so much like it, but like less beefy. It's almost kind of pointless. This here is an oil from Arabian Oud that I got. It's like a blend of rose, musk, and vanillic notes. Very, very nice. And I just kind of throw that on sometimes. And then that's Burberry Touch. That's a classic. That's not going anywhere. Can't get rid of that. It's just a good one to have. One from Bulgari. That's the only Bulgari I have right now, and it's a wood neroli, and it's discontinued, which is pretty much the only reason I even have it. But a very nice neroli fragrance. One from Christian Provenzano, Massimo. I do plan to add at least a few more from that house. I liked some of the stuff he had for sure. We got BDK, Greek Charnel X-Straight. I'm gonna get the EDP. I revisited it. I think I need that one. One from Chris Collins so far, African Rooibos. Got a couple from Cartier right now. That's the Parfum version of Pasha, the Cartier, and this is the discontinued Dune Soir, Declaration Dune Soir. Gotta have that. A couple of Bond number 9s in the back. I talk about those every now and then. This is that limited edition release from Carolina Herrera. You know what? I'm blanking out. I don't even remember what this is called, but it's a good one. It's a solid one, but I honestly don't wear it much. Let's see. Let's go ahead and just move on to the next shelf here. Chanel. Gotta have a few Chanels. Obviously, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with having at least one Bleu de Chanel. For me, it's going to be the Parfum. This past year, I only added one Chanel, and that was the Super Leggera, which as far as I know, was also a limited release, and it's pretty much already gone. But I know a lot of people probably didn't find much value in that, and that's fine. Got my couple of Creeds. I'm definitely going to add some more Creeds this year. Kind of want to add the ones that I want from the house, particularly some of those more classic releases, and one of the newer ones. And then Chanel and Leon. And then we got the Dior's here in the back, except for this is just the one, Dolce & Gabbana. The rest of this is the Dior section. This is all the Ohms, the original Ohms. You gotta, or should I say the old style? You have to say that now with the new 2025 release. Got some Day 3 fragrances here. Got 4 so far. There could be 1 or 2 more that I might add, but yeah, that's that for the Day 3. A couple from Francesca Bianchi. Really like what she does. I want to actually get a discovery kit from her house so I can discover more stuff. And one from DS and Durga so far, and Emporio Armani. This section here is just kind of one-offs from a lot of brands. From all the brands that are kind of in this section, there's not like multiple bottles. Up front here, we got the Gizadas, and then there's one from Eldo, one from Emporio Armani Acqua di Gio, the discontinued Profumo. It's the only one I really want. One from Aiden Bob, one nobody talks about, Memoirs de Mystique. Good Neroli fragrance. We got my line of gentleman fragrances, the good times of the gentleman fragrances, in my opinion, from Givenchy. All of them except the original. And yeah, I think that's all. I think I got all the ones except the original Givenchy Pie Classic. The Guerlain section. Yeah, we got a few from Guerlain here. That's a guest fragrance. That can go bye-bye. I might even just throw that away or give it away. But yeah, I got 2 from the Ideal line. L'Homme Ideal. Sorry, 3. L'Homme Ideal, Ideal Extreme, and I added the Eau de Parfum this year, which is my favorite so far. And then just a few of these kind of popular ones. L'Instant, Guerlain Homme, and the Vetiver. Vetiver is, like the classic take. on a vetiver fragrance, a great one to have. Portrait of a Lady, powerful stuff. One from The Harmonist, one from Goldfield so far. What's back here? Back here, this is a Get Right Fragrances. I talked about a couple of these a few times on the channel. Mostly it's gonna be the signature. This one here is just a great everyday gentlemanly fragrance with a clear modern twist. Awesome stuff there. I think I just dropped it. Yep. Okay, it's still in there. And you know, here now this is the other Arabian Oud I have that I don't want to put it on this shelf because this shelf has a lot of weight on it. That bottle is very heavy, so I actually put it down here for now. But this is Royal Oud. I've talked about this quite a bit recently. You know, just an awesome oud and rose fragrance with some musk. Got my Hermeses back here. Classic back there, Grand Noir. Come on. But yeah, my Hermes is over here. I got a few from the Terre d'Hermes line. I actually think I want to try to complete the line because it's just a fragrance line that I have a lot of respect for. But it might be pretty hard to get that Eau Fraiche at this point. I did look to see if it was available. I didn't see it anywhere, so I'm like, I don't know about that one. Anyway, let's move on. This middle shelf here, you can see it's got a lot of empty space. It's because alphabetically, there's not a lot of fragrances in this range. This is like Hugo Boss, and then you got J. Not a lot of brands with the J. Kajal K, not a lot with K. There's a handful of them with L, but not many that I have any interest in. So this shelf here needs to be filled in. But got these Hugo Bosses over here. I mean, I don't really wear any of these. Reversed gets worn to the gym a little bit. I've only got one Initio. It's another house I don't feel the need to own a lot from, but there are a couple I got my eye on that I might add. John Varvatos. This pretty much completes what I want from John Varvatos. Artisan, I don't even really like that much, so I could live without that. As long as I got this one here, Artisan Pure and Vintage, I don't need anything else from John Varvatos. We got a handful of Issey Miyakis back here. Unfortunately, you know, those really kind of popular, good, cooler weather ones that are like never available in the States. It's hard to find those. And they would all be blind buys for me anyway. So, you know, I'm not just going to drop a bunch of money if they did become available, but whatever. You know, there's my first official collector fragrance. That's the first fragrance I bought when I started collecting. So I just keep it for that. These were, you know, these are two fragrances that were sent to me. I talked about them. I'm not going to give them too much shine. They're not that great to me. A couple of Jean Paul Gaultier. You know, I do like the Le Male line, and particularly the ones that kind of focus on the original smell. I don't care that much for the ones that deviate from it. A couple of Kajals. There's definitely a few more I would love to add from that house as well, but I'll get to it when I get to it. Halloween Man X. You know, this is, if you were gotten to the community at a particular time, you know, this was just a good cheapie to get at the time. And it was at the time, but now I could live without it. I might get rid of that one as well. The Leak fragrances, I still think they just make outstanding fragrances, and the prices you can get them for on discounters is just such a good buy in my opinion. But their fragrances are not for everyone, so I don't try to push those too much. There's my favorite fragrance there at this time. Ganymede is the one that I can rock for anything, so that's my favorite. Tobac 28, that's the only Le Labo I got at this time. Got a few from Lorenzo Pizzalia here. Yeah, you know, that house is pretty much blowing up, and then it's on discounters now, so now everybody's gonna start getting on those. Couple of Louis Vuittons. There's some more I could add. My section of MFK, although my wife is the one putting this dent in Grand Soir because she just wore it like all the time. Let's see, let's move on down here. Montal, I've only got this and that Intense Cafe up ahead, up on the top shelf. Honestly, there's not too many more I'd want from that house. Only one from Mason Crivelli, only Mind Games I got right now. Great fragrances, but I don't feel the need to own all of them. Not too many of them really give me anything special. You know, you gotta have your Manceras. I've talked about just about every Mancera I have here, and it's not an extensive collection. There's still a few I'd love to check out that people talk about. La Corday, shout out to Equality Fragrances. This is still just one of the best kind of blind buy recommendations I've ever purchased. But, you know, at the same time, it isn't cheap, but you get a lot of juice for it and very high quality. Again, back here, kind of like one-offs, stuff I don't wear much. We got Mont Blanc here. Mont Blanc is a brand I don't really pay much attention to anymore. They're a good starter house in my opinion. Toy Boy I still think is a really interesting release. Back there is the Narciso Rodriguez Parfum. I don't wear it. For whatever reason it doesn't speak to me.
I know a lot of people like that, but I might try to sell that or give that away because it's just going to sit on my shelf. First from Montelier, I haven't even talked about this on the channel yet, kind of saving that for warmer weather. The Parisian Musk. Yeah, I've talked about this one from Naomi Good Sir. We got one Nasa model right now, but there is a second one on the way. A couple from Novitus Parfums. Those are all the releases that were creatively directed by Bowtie. The one I like the most is definitely Eau Debonair. That's the one that, gets wear out of me. Blue Noir EDP is the one I like. I've talked about it. And African Leather, I'm gonna get some more from Memo. Got my Nishanes back there. I just haven't bought any more Nishanes anytime recently, but there are a few I definitely got my eye on. One sold Paco Rabanne, Invictus Parfums, the only one I've got. Here's my PDMs, Parfums de Marly. A house I definitely took a lot of interest in earlier on, but nowadays not so much. Don't really feel like I have to have too many more of them. But they keep releasing stuff, so we'll see. That could change. Savoir Faire here, Orto Parisi. If you like strong fragrances with a little bit of a punch to them, they've got plenty. Some stuff in the back I don't really care too much about. Here's my 4 Rosias at this time. Certainly gonna add some more Rosias too, but I kind of had to be in the mood to kind of focus on those. And a few more one-offs back here. A couple of Prada. Was in the Mateo number 5. The only Ormond Jane I got right there. And down to the bottom shelf. I apologize if the light isn't as good. I only got one light for this section, so I'll try to make sure you guys can see. It looks like the camera's picking it up pretty good. Only one I got from Tower right now. It's not even like the most famous one. This is Fai Una Rose de Kandahar. That's not one you're going to hear much about, but it's a rose patchouli fragrance. Only one from Monagal right now, and same thing. There's others I have interest in. Couple from The Mean. Back there's a bunch of Salvatore Ferragamos. I could get rid of those. I'm probably not going to wear those. Some cheaper fragrances, good cheapies. There's some good cheapies out there for sure. Here's my kind of collection of Tom Fords. I want to add more Tom Fords as well, but the prices have just gotten so bad for them. It's kind of hard to justify buying the ones unless you really, really like them. Couple from Tiziana. Versace section. I could probably give away most of these as well. I do not touch my Versace fragrances at all. Some of them look like they got dust on it. As far as Valentino goes, the original Uomo and Uomo Intense are the only thing that I've ever smelled from them that have impressed me. Small house here, Vita Bella Parfums, from a guy who actually is also a content creator. This is his fragrance house. These are really, really good. I've only talked about Uomo extensively. Alabaster, also saving that one for warmer weather. A couple of Wilhelm, Hawass Ice. I got the other Hawass back over there in the corner. This one's nice. It's a fresher take, but it's a little redundant in my opinion. But it still smells good for what it is. A couple of Zerzovs. I got 2 more Zerzovs on the way. It's another house I just kind of have stopped buying just to focus on other things. Because, everybody knows about Zerzov. But, yeah, that's that. Oh, no. Hang on. I got to turn the light back on. These lights are on a timer, so they don't just burn out the batteries. So, yeah, there we go. And then down here in the bottom, this is why I need to rearrange my shelf. There are fragrances down here I really like, but sometimes forget because they're way down here at the bottom. Zaharoff back there. Spice Bomb I don't really reach for anymore. YSL. Honestly, I don't really care for many of the affordable designer YSLs. There's that one from Whittian. This is actually a bag of cigars from the Dominican Republic. I think I only got one left. So that's what that's in the bag there. And then this is just like larger bottle samples. I don't keep most of my samples here. These are just some of the ones I just kind of kept here because they're a lot larger than the smaller samples I kind of just put into a container. So yeah, anyway, that is the entire collection. And I'm sorry I didn't really get into too much detail with every fragrance, but we would just be here forever. But yeah, that is my cabinet, and I do plan on actually moving this into the room that I shoot the fragrance videos for. So this will actually be in view, and I'm probably gonna have to add another one. As you can see, there's not much free space left on this. All right, guys, that was my entire fragrance collection and some channel updates. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Please remember to be well and smell well, and I will see you in the next episode of The Fragrance Well. Have a good one.